Shalom, peeps. So, I actually kind of like recording like this because it just takes the pressure off and it allows me to show you guys exactly what it is that I'm trying to show you without having to edit in all kinds of different transitions and slides and screens and record different segments. So, it is what it is. Toda Ruach HaKodesh for giving me the idea to just do it like this because it is so much easier and less stressful on me. Anyway, so Ruach HaKodesh had me thinking about pregnancy and all the prenatal care that goes into carrying a child or children to term. You got to watch what you eat and how you sleep. Be cautious of the activities in which you engage in. Be mindful of the clothing options, take prenatal vitamins, go to doctor's appointments, educate yourself on pregnancy, including possible dangers to the unborn child and yourself. And with me previously having an ectopic pregnancy that almost took my life and did take one of my fallopian tubes, I remember being extremely anxious while pregnant with my son, which is, it's understandable. So Ruach HaKodesh took my knowledge and experience of pregnancy and translated it into my Ruach walk with Av Yahuwah. So first and foremost, you got to watch what you eat. If we go back down that list, okay, so we're going to break that down. You got to watch what you eat. So we're going to go in his word. The only thing is this be moving like extra slow. Anyway, you got to watch what you eat. Then Yahusha said unto them, Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Parashim and of the Sadokim. So Yahusha is talking to his Talmudim. Matter of fact, it says it in verse 5. And when his Talmudim or his disciples, I'll let you guys see that. Talmudim, those who are instructed, accustomed, disciples, learned, taught, used, okay, were come to the other side. They had forgotten to take bread. So he's talking about bread, all right, food. Then Yahusha said unto them, Take heed and beware of the leaven or the yeast of the Parashim, which is the Pharisees. I want you guys to see this. Parashim, a primitive root to separate, literally to disperse, or figuratively to specify, also by implication to wound, scatter, declare, distinctly shoestring, or show, I'm sorry, a religious sect formed around the time of the Maccabean or the Maccabees, and prevalent in Yahusha's time. And of the Sadokim, which is the Sadducees, a sect of the Yahudim at the time of Yahusha who were usually at variance, so they're usually at odds with the other leading sect, namely the Parashim. So they're usually at odds with the Pharisees, mainly on the resurrection. The Pharisees believed in resurrection, Sadducees didn't, but unified with them in opposing Yahusha and accomplishing his death. And it gives you the scriptures for that. The name would seem to be derived from an Ivri or Hebrew word signifying the just, but the Talmudists affirm that it comes from a certain Sodak or Sadducus, which is where we get Sadducees from. Sadducus, I guess you could say, who was the founder of the sect and lived about 3 centuries before the coming of Mashiach. The Sadokim disregarded all the traditions and unwritten laws which the Parashim prized so highly and professed to consider the scriptures as the only source and rule of the Yehudic religion. They rejected the demonology of the Parashim, denied the existence of angels and spirits, considered the soul as dying with the body, and of course admitted, which is what I said about the resurrection. So if you die, you can't be resurrected because your soul dies too. And of course, admitted no further state of rewards and punishments. So I'm going to do my best to take my time, but also not linger too long because I don't want to have to go through what I went through with the other video. But I do want to take my time because when I listened to the other video, and because I had to rush I didn't have to rush, but because I rushed through the third time, it was a lot of things that I forgot to say. And so I am not going to allow the enemy to succeed. It is finished. The enemy has already been defeated. So we're just going to go forth and I'm going to take my time. Okay. So you got to watch what you eat. Okay. Then you got to watch how you sleep. All right. We're going to go to Matthew 26, starting in verse 36. And y'all just be patient with me. I'm always nervous when I come on here and I have to say stuff to anybody about anything that Yahuwah gives me to say. Because in the back of my mind, I'm always like, well, am I hearing you right? Is this what you want me to say? Is this really what you want me to say? Or am I hearing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always that tug of war. But Ruach HaKodesh always confirms that, yeah, this is me. This is what I want you to say. And so I'm going forth, but understand, like, I be in here like, do I have to say it? Okay, so then Yahusha with them. I'm sorry, I'm like putting words in there. Then came Yahusha with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and said unto the Talmudim, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And when he took with him Kepha and the two sons of Zebedee, or in the English is Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then said he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here, and watch with me. And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. And he came into the Talmudim, and found them asleep, and said unto Kepha, what, could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, that you not enter into temptation. So you got to watch how you sleep, so you don't enter into temptation. The Ruach indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. And remember, Ruach, when it's lowercase, is talking about, let's go down here. In reference to the Ruach, or spirit of a human being, or false deity. And we're just going to leave it there. He went away again the second time, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, your will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them, and went away again, and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then came he to his Talmudim, and said unto them, sleep on now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Adam is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that betrays me. So you got to watch how you sleep, that you don't fall into temptation, okay? You also got to be cautious of the activities in which you engage in, all right? So I'm actually going to read two on this one. The first one is Romaim. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm telling you guys the scriptures. So the very first one was Matthew 16 and 6. The second one was Matthew 26, 36 and 46. And this one is Romaim 7, starting in verse 14. For we know that, and I'm going to go to verse 25. For we know that the Torah is of the Ruach, but I am carnal, trafficked by sin. So carnal is just worldly, fleshly. You get the gist. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do not, alaf tav, but what I hate, that I do. If then, alaf tav, I do that which I would not, I consent unto the Torah that it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwells in me. For I know that in me, that is, in my flesh, dwells no good thing, for to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. So he's like, I want to do good, but I don't know how to. For the good that I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Like, I want to do good, but I'm constantly doing evil things, okay? Now, if I do that, I would not. It is no more I that do it, but sin that dwells in me. I find in a rule that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the Torah of Elohim after the inward man. But I see another law in my members, warring against the Torah of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. So he knows what he's supposed to be doing, especially based on the Torah. But he's like, but my body wants to do something else. I'm not going to sing the song, you guys. I know that some of us, that song pops into our mind. I'm not going to sing it because it's so secular. So Ruach HaKodesh, please just remove that from my head because it shouldn't even be in there. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank Elohim through Yahushua HaMashiach, our Adonai. So then with the mind of myself serve the Torah of Elohim, but with the flesh the sin of the law. I mean the law on the sin of the law of sin. So the flesh serves the law of sin, whereas his mind serves. So in his mind, he's serving Elohim, the Torah of Elohim. So the other one I'm going to do is 1 Corinthians 6:18-20. It's quarantine, Rishon. What did I say? 6:18-20. This is a better one, actually. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man does is without the body, but he that commits fornication sins against his own body. What? Know you not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is in you, which you have of Elohim, and you are not your own? For you are bought with a price. Therefore, glory Elohim in your body and in your Ruach, which are Elohim's. Okay, so your body's not your own. And I just thought of a whole nother scripture. You know what? No, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to do exactly what it is that I was told to do, because when I start going off on these little tangents, that's when it really gets all mucked up and stuff. So the next one is be mindful of your clothing options. Okay. So we're going to go to Ephesians 6, starting at verse 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Elohim, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the Besorah. We're going to stop right there. Besorah, a primitive root, properly to be fresh, i.e. full, rosy, figuratively, cheer, to announce glad news. To announce glad news. Messenger, preach, publish, show forth, bear, bring, carry, preach, good, to tell news. Okay. So, and your feet shod with the preparation of basically the good news of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of Yeshua and the sword of Ruach, which is the word of Elohim. The sword of the Ruach, which is the word of Elohim. Toda Ruach HaKodesh. So that's actually going to play into this. And I didn't read this entire scripture when Ruach HaKodesh was talking to me, because he just gave me the scripture reference, which that's bad on my part. I should have went to it, because I would have caught this little nugget right here. But so I'm going to read this again. And take the helmet of Yeshua and the sword of the Ruach, which is the word of Elohim. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Ruach, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all Kodashim. And I'm going to stop right there. Okay. So now we're going to take our prenatal vitamins. We're going to go to Matthew 6, and it's just going to be verse 11. Actually, it's going to be 3 other things, but give us this day our daily bread. Okay. So we know that this is from the model prayer that Yahushua gave to his Talmudim. No, it is not the Lord's prayer. Okay. He says in verse 9, after this manner, therefore, pray you. So he's telling his disciples, this is how you're supposed to pray. Okay. And then he says, our Father who established Yeshua in the heavens, exalted is your name, your kingdom come, your will be done in earth as in the heavens. Give us this day our daily bread. So when you have prenatal vitamins, you take them every day. You take them daily, okay? Another good one is found in Yehukanan chapter 6. And they're both in chapter 6. Starting at verse 28. We're going to go to 35. Then said they unto him, What shall we do that we might work the works of Elohim? Yehusha answered and said unto them, This is the work of Elohim, that you believe on him whom he has sent. Talking about himself. They said before unto him, What sign show you then that we may see and believe you? What do you work? Now, mind you, after they said this, like, he had already fed the multitude of 5,000 plus, because there's 5,000 men, but then it was women and children too. So 5,000 plus people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Okay. Then he had walked on water. All right. But now they're like, well, what sign are you going to show us? And mind you, in some of the English versions, it'll show you like, this is like the 6th sign in the book of Yehukanan that he has shown. Like him walking on water is like the 5th or the 6th sign. So he's been showing signs all the way up to this point, and they're still like, well, what sign are you going to show us? You know what I'm saying? So basically they have eyes but can't see and ears but can't hear. But anyway, our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. So give us our daily bread, right? So if you go back to Shemot or Exodus chapter 16, this is where it talks about the manna from heaven that appeared every morning and how they're only supposed to gather enough for that day, except for on the 6th day, they're supposed to gather twice as much, because on the 7th day, they were not supposed to gather any. So they were supposed to gather enough on the 6th day for the 6th and the 7th day, which the 7th day is Shabbat, the Sabbath. Okay, so that's Shemot chapter 16, Exodus 16. So that's where we give us this day our daily bread from. And then it says he gave bread from heaven to eat. So this is what they're talking about. Then Yehusha said unto them, Amen, amen, I say unto you, Moshe, and let's look at Moshe's name, drawing out of the water, i.e. rescued Moshe the Yashraeli Torah giver. Moshe gave you not that bread from heaven. So he's like, Moses didn't give you that bread, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven. You know what I'm saying? Even back then, Moses didn't give the bread. It was Yahuwah. For the bread of Elohim is he which comes down from heaven and gives life unto the world. And remember, Yahuwah means he who gives life. Okay? So, just going to throw that in there. Then said they unto him, Adonai, evermore give us this bread. And Yehusha said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that comes to me shall never hunger, and he that believes on me shall never thirst. Okay, so I got 2 more, you guys. Remember, we're taking our prenatal vitamins, but we're going slow because I think I went too fast. I know I went too fast last time. All right, this is Devarim or Deuteronomy 8, chapter 8, verse 3. And he humbled you and suffered you to hunger and fed you with manna, which you knew not, neither did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahuwah, man lives. And so I'm going to go to Matityahu again, starting in verse 4. I can hear my dog coming down the hallway. He's probably going to start banging on the door in a second. Because Deuteronomy 8 and 3 is actually where what Yehusha was quoting in Matityahu 4 and 4. But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahuwah. Okay? And I am he who breathes life. Okay? And behold the nailed hands. I mean, that should also let you know that, okay, I'm going to stop. Thank you, Ruach HaKodesh. He keeps saying, like, stay on track. Okay. The next thing we have to do while we're pregnant is make sure, and fellas, I hope you're paying attention, because this is the things that us women go through, okay? But understand, as the bride of Mashiach, spiritually, you're going through these things as well. So this still applies to you fellas. So we also have to go to doctor's appointments, okay? So before I go anywhere, I want you guys, I want to show you the definition of appointment. I forgot that you guys could see the screen, so let's do this. Define, there we go. You can see I've already, pulled it up. Okay, I'm going to read all of these. Appointment is a noun, okay? I'm going to read all of them, but the first one is the one that we're, that is the important one, okay? An arrangement for a meeting, engagement. She has an appointment for an interview tomorrow, okay? It's also equipment or furnishings, usually plural, expensive homes, and luxurious appointments. A non-elective office or position holds an academic appointment, an act of appointing someone or something, designation, and then when it comes to the law, it means the designation by virtue of a vested power of a person to enjoy an estate. So as you can see, the first definition is the one that we are going with, an arrangement for a meeting. So this is what happens when you go to your doctor's appointments. But we also have appointments that we're supposed to keep with our doctor, okay? With our spiritual doctor, Yahushua Mashiach. And you can find that in Vayikra or Leviticus chapter 23. And yes, I'm going to read the entire thing. And yes, I'm going to go at the pace that I'm supposed to go. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, or Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharah, and say unto them concerning the feast of Yahuwah, which you shall proclaim to be holy assemblies, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Shabbat. Okay, let's go here. Intermission, i.e. specifically the Shabbat, or Shabbat, okay? The 7th day of the week. Even on the pagan calendars, Saturday is the 7th day of the week. In Hebrew, the days don't have actual names. They are numbered. They are literally Yom Rishon, Shani, which means day 1, day 2. Okay, so the names of the days in Hebrews are literally day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way up to day 6, and then the 7th day is called Shabbat. Okay, the appointed times in the feast of Yahuwah, hence the high Shabboth. So the 7 feasts that we know of in the Torah are also called Sabbaths. Okay, but the 7th day is the Shabbat of rest, a holy assembly. You should do no work therein. It is the Shabbat of Yahuwah in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of Yahuwah, even holy assemblies, which you shall proclaim in their appointed times. Okay, so they're appointed times. So that means that they are appointments. Okay, these are appointments that we're supposed to keep with him. In the 4th day of the first month at even is Yahuwah's Pesach. So Pesach, let's go here. The sacrifice of Yahuwah's Pesach, also called the day of preparation before Chag Matzah, which is the feast of unleavened bread, or Passover. Actually, no, not Passover. I'm sorry. Those are 2 different ones, but they coincide with each other. So this is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So Todah Ruach HaKodesh for that correction. Celebrated on the evening of the 14th of the first month of Aviv to commemorate Yasharel's deliverance from Mitzrayim, fulfilled in Yahushua HaMashiach, our Pesach sacrificed for our sins. So he is the Pesach lamb. Okay. And on the 15th day of the same month, in the feast of Matzah unto Yahuwah, 7 days you must eat matzah, which is unleavened bread, in the sense of greedily devouring for sweetness, properly sweetness, concretely sweet, i.e. not soured or bitter with yeast, specifically an unfermented cake or loaf, or elliptically the feast of Pesach, Passover, because no leaven was then used, unleavened bread, cake without leaven. So matzah is unleavened bread. In the first day you shall have a holy assembly. You shall do no servile work therein. But you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah 7 days, and the seventh day is a holy assembly. You shall do no servile work therein. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, and say unto them, When you are come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before Yahuwah to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Shabbat. The priest shall wave it. And you shall offer that day when you wave the sheaf a he lamb without blemish of the first year for an ascending smoke offering unto Yahuwah. And the oblation thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of a hin, and you shall eat neither bread, nor parched grain, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that you have brought an offering unto your Elohim. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And you shall count unto you from the morrow after Shabbat, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Shabbats shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Shabbat shall you number 50 days. So now we're going into Shavuot, or Pentecost in the Greek, but Shavuot. And you shall offer a renewed oblation unto Yahuwah. You shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Yahuwah. And you shall offer with the bread 7 lambs. This is, if I'm not mistaken, it's called the Feast of First Fruits, but I could be wrong. Pray to ask Abba Yahuwah. I'm still learning about the feast days myself. So if I'm wrong, please, by all means, correct me in the comments. And you shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for an ascending smoke offering unto Yahuwah with their oblation, and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire or sweet savor unto Yahuwah. Then you shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before Yahuwah with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy to Yahuwah for the priests. And you shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be a holy assembly unto you. You shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not make clean riddance of the corners of your field. When you reap, neither shall you gather any gleaning of your harvest. You shall leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am Yahuwah Elohim. Let me see. Oh, it does. Let me see. Yahuwah your Elohim. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath, or Shabbat, a memorial of blowing of shofars, a holy assembly. So this is Yom Teruah, or the Feast of Trumpets. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Also on the 10th day of this month Also on the 10th day of this 7th month is Yom Kippurim, which is the Day of Atonement. Yom Kippurim, the 6th of the 7th feast of Yahuwah, the 10th day of the 7th month, Ethanim. I think that's how you pronounce it. It shall be a holy assembly unto you, and you shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And you shall do no work in that same day, for it is Yom Kippurim, to make an atonement for you before Yahuwah Elohim. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that does any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Shabbat of rest, and you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening. From evening unto evening shall you celebrate your Shabbat. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of Sukkoth, or the Feast of Tabernacles. Plural of Sukkah, huts or layers, booths, cottages, coverts, pavilions, tabernacles, tents. And that's what I just got finished celebrating. For 7 days unto Yahuwah. On the first day shall be a holy assembly. You shall do no servile work therein. 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. On the 8th day shall be a holy assembly unto you, and you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. It is a solemn assembly, and you shall do no servile work therein. These are the feasts of Yahuwah, which you shall proclaim to be holy assemblies, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, and an ascending smoke offering, an oblation, a sacrifice, drink offerings, everything upon this day, beside the Shabbats of Yahuwah, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your freewill offerings which you give unto Yahuwah. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, you shall keep a feast unto Yahuwah 7 days. On the first day shall be a Shabbat, and on the 8th day shall be a Shabbat. And you shall take you on the first day the boughs or boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and boughs of thick trees, and willows of brook. And you shall rejoice before Yahuwah Elohim 7 days, and you shall keep it a feast unto Yahuwah 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. You shall dwell in Sukkoth 7 days. All that are Yasharel born shall dwell in Sukkoth, that your generations may know that I made the children of Yasharel to dwell in Sukkoth when I brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, Upper and Lower Egypt. I just want you guys to see that. I am Yahuwah Elohim, and Moshe declared unto the children of Yasharel the feast of Yahuwah. So we got to keep our appointments with our doctor, okay? And these are the appointments listed in Leviticus 23, okay? Last thing, well, not last thing, but the last thing I'm going to speak about. You got to educate yourself on pregnancy and possible dangers to the unborn child and to yourself, okay? So we're going to go to Yahusha or Joshua 1 and verse 8. And please go and read these entire chapters for context, okay? This sefer or book of the Torah shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate therein day and night, that you may guard to do according to all that is written therein. For then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall have good success. Another good one is Tehillim. I'm sorry, pronouncing it all wrong. Chapter 1, starting in verse 2. Well, just verse 2. But his delight is in the Torah of Yahuwah, and in his Torah he meditates day and night. So when you're meditating on the word of Yahuwah, you are actually educating yourself on the pregnancy that you're currently going through, and the possible dangers to you and the unborn child if you don't do these things, okay? So while at work today, Ruach HaKodesh was also speaking to me again on this manner. So here are the little breadcrumbs that he gave me to give to you, okay? I'm going to try to do my best to read through the little scribble that I have on here, okay? So first I'm going to go to Matthew 13, starting at verse 24. Starting at verse 24, going to verse 30. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of Elohim is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went this way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the house came and said unto him, Adonai, did not you sow good seed in your field? From whence then has it tares? He said unto them, An enemy has done this. The servants said unto him, Will you then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together into the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather you together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. So first and foremost, I want to just point out that in this particular parable, we are the seed that was sown. Okay, we are the seed. And this is in reference to the harvest that's mentioned, Yahuwah's harvest that's mentioned in Revelation. But not only are we the seed, but we also are carrying the seed of the bride of Mashiach. So it's kind of like how I have a mother, but I'm also a mother. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that makes any sense, but let's go to... I'm going to go back to Corinthian Rishon, which is 1 Corinthians 6:18. Okay, I did go past it. 18 and 20. We're going to go here again because this is relevant. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man does is without the body, but he that commits fornication sins against his own body. What, know you not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is in you, which you have of Elohim, and you are not your own? For you are bought with a price. I keep saying bought with a price. Therefore, glory Elohim in your body and in your Ruach, which are Elohim's. So first and foremost, we know that Ruach HaKodesh is supposed to dwell in us, okay? But not only is Ruach HaKodesh supposed to dwell in us, but the kingdom of Yahuwah is supposed to be, is within us as well. Okay, so let's go there. 17, starting at verse 20. Nope, too far. And when he was demanded of the Parashim, or the Pharisees, when the kingdom of Elohim should come, he answered them and said, The kingdom of Elohim comes not with observation, neither shall they say, Lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of Elohim is within you. Okay, so now we have Ruach HaKodesh is within us. We're the temple of Ruach HaKodesh, and now the kingdom of Yahuwah or Elohim is within us. But the seed that was placed in us is actually the word of Yahuwah, okay? So let's go to Marcus 4, starting at verse 1, and I'm going to read 1 to 34. So I told you I'm going to take my time. It's going to be a long video, but, I don't know, I like watching long videos because I like hearing about my king. So 1 to 34, Mark 4, 1 to 34. And he began again to teach by the seaside, and there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. And he taught them many things by parables, and said unto them in this doctrine, Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow. And it came to pass, as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on the stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, and some 60, and some 100. And he said unto them, He that has ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. I'm sorry, I'm having such a difficult time reading today. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Elohim, talking about his Talmudim. But unto them that are without, meaning without them that are not part of the kingdom, okay, all these things are done in parables. So this is how they get into the kingdom, okay? That seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand. They got eyes but can't see and ears but can't hear, lest at any time they should turn back and their sins should be forgiven them. And he said unto them, know you not this parable? And how then will you know all parables? The sower sows the word. Okay, so now we see the sower sows the word. So the word of Yahuwah is also a seed. And that's, okay, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan comes immediately and takes away the word that was sown in their hearts. Okay? So as soon as they hear it, here comes Hasatan to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay? And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness. So they eagerly receive the word, but they have no root in themselves, and so endure for a time. Afterwards, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So these are those that are okay with all the good stuff that comes with being a child of Yahuwah. But as soon as all of a sudden, persecution comes and trials and tribulations, they're like, nah, I'm good. Now let me go back. Basically like the children of Yasharel when they were brought forth out of Egypt. They were okay with all the miracles and the plagues and stuff that was being, done to the Mitzrayim or the Mitzrayim. But as soon as they got out into that wilderness and they started to get hungry and thirsty, they started to groan and complain and even created their own idol god. Because it was like, nah, man, they even said to Moses, did you bring us out here to die? Like, were there not enough graves in Egypt? You know what I'm saying? So this is what he's talking about. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. Prosperity gospel. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, these are these people that are trying to make a name for themselves, and they're trying to build seven streams of income and all this other stuff. The 7 mountain mandate, which is actually very satanic, because Rome is a city that sits on 7 hills. So 7 mountain mandate, that's a little something right there that prayerfully I'll be able to get into a little bit later. But anyway, so these are those people. And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it and bring forth fruit, some 30, some 60, and some 100. Okay. So these are the ones that no matter what the world has to offer, they're staying true, and they got both feet planted on solid ground, and they're holding fast and enduring in Yahuwah's word and in his will. And he said unto them, is a candle brought to be put under a bushel or under a bed, and not to be set on a menorah? I said 7-branch candlesticks, 7 branched candlesticks. Sometimes you'll see 9. 9 is incorrect. 9 is actually something demonic. And I hate the fact that I actually did a video about Hanukkah, and I found a video, and at the time I didn't know that I didn't realize I had found a video of a 9 branch menorah, and I also didn't know that it was something evil about that. But I just want y'all to see this. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. And he said unto them, take heed what you hear. With what measure you mete, it shall be measured to you. And unto you that hear shall more be given. So if you can hear, I'm going to give you more to hear. Okay, that's what he's saying. If you can hear, I'm going to give you more to hear. For he that has, to him shall be given. And he that has not, from him shall be taken even that which he has. So if you don't have ears to hear, even what you thought you knew, you finna lose. Okay? You're not gonna, I'm not gonna give you more, and you can't hear what I'm saying. And he said, so is the kingdom of Elohim, as if a man should cast seed into the ground. And remember, the kingdom is within. Never mind. I keep trying to go off on these little tangents, and Ruach HaKodesh is like, stick to it. Just stick to it. And should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spring and grow up. He knows not. For the earth brings forth fruit of herself, first the blade, then the grain, after that the full head of grain. But when the fruit is brought forth, immediately he puts in the sickle, because the harvest is come. And he said, whereunto shall we liken the kingdom of Elohim, or with what comparison shall we compare it? It is like a grain of mustard seed, which when it is sown in the earth is less than all the seeds that be in the earth. But when it is sown, it grows up and becomes greater than all herbs, and shoots out great branches, so that the fowls of the air may lodge under the shadow of it. And with many such parables spoke he the word unto them, as they were able to hear it. But without a parable spoke he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his Talmudim. So he made sure that his folks knew what he was talking about, okay? You know what? I did skip something. Oh, wow. I knew I was going to skip something. So when I said we are the seed and we carry the seed as the bride of Mashiach, I was supposed to take you to Bereshith. Todah Ruach HaKodesh 3:15, okay? Well, first I was supposed to go to Bereshith 3:15. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim said, you should not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. Wait, no, that's 3:15. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. So that's the scripture that Ruach HaKodesh gave me when I said we are the seed and we carry the seed. So as the bride of Hamashiach. So we are the seed. This is how you could see that we are the seed. But then what I just got finished reading to you in Mark 4 shows us that we also carry the seed, which is the word of Yahusha. The word of Yahuwah. And we are Yahusha's helpmeet, just as Huah was Adam's helpmeet, okay? Which is what I mean by the bride of Hamashiach. We are his helpmeet, just like Huah was the helpmeet of Adam. And I am going to go to, this is Bereshith 2, starting at verse 20. And the man gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helpmeet for him. And Yahuwah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And the man said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his woman, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, and the man and his woman were not ashamed. But at the end of verse 20 is what I want you to see, though. But for the man there was not found a helpmeet for him. So Yahuwah created a helpmeet, which became Huah. Okay, so Huah is a foreshadowing of us as the bride of Mashiach. Okay, being Yahusha's helpmeet. That's what a wife is, the helpmeet to the husband. Okay. All right. Now that I got that out of the way, so with our husband Yahushua Hamashiach, we are supposed to bear fruit, be fruitful and multiply, like it says in Bereshith. Okay. So with that in mind, I want to go to Matithyahu. It seems like a lot of the scriptures that I was given came out of Matthew, but Matithyahu starting in verse 21. Okay. So this is after he tells you about the false prophets and how, you can know a tree by its fruit and so on and so forth. Okay. Because a tree cannot bear fruit, not after its kind. Okay. If you go back to Bereshith and you look at, how Yahuwah created the animals and the plants and the birds of the air and so forth. He always says, and they created, they produced after their own kind. So basically, he's saying like a good tree cannot produce bad fruit. It can only produce good fruit because it's a good tree. Whereas a bad fruit can't produce good fruit because it's a bad tree. So it can only produce after its kind. You know what? Toda Ruach HaKodesh. Let me go there real quick. I know I just got here, but let me see. Okay, and Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind." Okay, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. Another thing, an apple tree is not going to produce fruit. I mean, it's not going to produce fruit. It's not going to produce oranges. And an orange tree is not going to produce apples. So this is basically the same thing. Whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. So I just wanted you to see that real quick so you understand that, that's what he means by you shall know a tree by its fruit. Whatever fruit it's bearing is letting you know what type of tree it is, okay? Because a good tree can't bear bad fruit. A bad tree can't bear good fruit. As a matter of fact, I'll go to that real quick before I go down to I'll start in verse 13. Enter you in at the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because narrow is the gate and troublesome is the way which leads to life, and few there be that find it. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorns? So a grapevine is not going to produce thorns, or figs of thistles. A fig tree is not going to produce thistles. Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that brings not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruit you shall know them. So now we're getting into the scripture that Ruach HaKodesh wanted me to get into. Not everyone that says unto me, Adonai, Adonai, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of my Father, which is in heaven. So only those that do the will of his Father in heaven gets into the kingdom of heaven. Many shall say to me in that day, Adonai, Adonai, have we not prophesied in your name, and in your name have cast out devils, and in your name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. Now, let's go back to the fact that we're supposed to be the bride of Mashiach, okay? And the two shall become one flesh. They shall consummate the marriage, okay? So I want to show you something. I'm going to go to the blueletterbible.org, okay? And I'm going to show you. Now, on this, it's going to show me the Greek word. Blueletterbible.org, unfortunately, does not allow you to look up the Hebrew word in the Brit Hadashah, which is the renewed covenant, because it goes off of the traditional Bibles that are written where the Brit Hadashah is written in Greek. Okay, so you see this word new, G1097, ginosko, okay? Ginosko is a verb. It means a lot. And I'll let you guys, go back and look on this for yourself. But I'm going to go down to the biblical usage because it just makes it easier to see. So to know, to learn to know, come to know, get a knowledge of, perceive, feel, to become known, to know, understand, perceive, have knowledge of, to understand, to know. Yiddish, I said Yiddish, a Jewish idiom for sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. To become acquainted, to know. So This one right here, the Jewish idiom for sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. The reason why that one is important is because I want to show you something, okay? I'm going to go back here. I think it's in Bereshith too. Is it not in Bereshith too? Maybe it's not. Let's see, Bereshith 3. Nope. Now I'm going to have to look for it because I said something to you. I thought I wrote it down. Yeah. Bereshith 4. I did write it down, and if I had just looked, I would have seen it. And Adam knew Hua, his woman, and she conceived and bore Cain. So Cain, the name of the first child, also of a place in Yasharel and of an oriental tribe, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahuwah. So, and Adam knew Hua, his woman. Okay. So I cannot show you the Hebrew word in the Brit Hadashah for new, but what I can do is go to the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Old Covenant. Genesis 4:1, and I can show you what word is used. Okay. So we're going to hit Septuagint. And now you see how it brought it up on the left-hand side. You see the Greek. The third one down says gnosko. It's the same word. It is the same word. See, there's a definition. The reason why I brought this up is because in Bereshith 4:1, it says that Adam knew his woman, or knew Hua, and they brought forth a son, Cain. So this is how we know that this is the word, and this is the context of the word, not only used in Bereshith 4:1, but also in Matithyahu 7:23. So he's saying, away from me, I never knew you. I never put seed in you. My seed has not penetrated your vessel. Okay? This is literally the picture of the perfect husband, that when a harlot comes and is trying to like seduce him away from you, and he's like, look, I don't know you. I know my wife, but I don't know you. This is literally what Yahusha is saying. Okay. So, and then if you go to the Hebrew, the actual Hebrew word, let me see if I can remember how to get to it. I think you hit reverse. Yep. It's yada. Yada. Now this doesn't actually, this third one down right here, to know a person carnally. So it still kind of helps out. But the fact that in the Septuagint, they translated that word the same way, it's the exact same word, lets you know that this is probably the context of what this word is. But pray on it. I mean, I don't know everything, so I'm okay with you going and checking up on what it is that I'm saying to you, because I mean, shoot, don't be standing in front of you who are talking about something. Leah said this and Leah said no. You better go check with him first. Okay, so this script in Ezekiel 44. So I was listening to a sermon today, and as soon as I can find it, I know I went past it. There it is. 44, starting in verse 6. So this is Ezekiel 44, or I can never pronounce his name in Hebrew. So Ezekiel 44 started at verse 6. So I was listening to a sermon today while I was at work, and she brought this up. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to tell you why this made me think of what I thought of. And you shall say to the rebellious, even to the house of Yasharel, thus says Adonai Yahuwah, O you house of Yasharel, let it suffice you all of your abominations, in that you have brought into my sanctuary strangers, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my sanctuary, to pollute it, even my house, when you offer my bread, the fat of the blood, and they have broken my covenant because of all your abominations. And you have not guarded the watch of my holy things, but you have set garters of my watch in my sanctuary for yourselves. Thus says Adonai Yahuwah, no stranger uncircumcised in heart nor uncircumcised in flesh shall enter into my sanctuary of any stranger that is that is among the children of Yasharel. So the temple, which is supposed to be housing Ruach HaKodesh and the Word and His kingdom, like Ruach HaKodesh, when I heard this woman mention this scripture, I immediately thought about Hosea and Gomer and how their marriage was supposed to be a metaphor for Yasharel's relationship with Yahuwah, and how Yasharel played the harlot in their relationship and their covenantal relationship to Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? So when she said that, I mean, immediately this is what Ruach HaKodesh started talking to me about. And so during Ezekiel's prophecies, the people of Yehuda had reverted to idolatry and lawlessness after the death of King Josiah. I don't know how to pronounce his name in Hebrew, so I'm just going to say Josiah. False prophets were preaching that Elua would soon overthrow the Babylonians, and Ezekiel preached to the house of Yasharel, which applied to Yehuda, also known as the southern kingdom. So we are impregnated by the word of Yahuwah, which is Yahushua HaMashiach, and we are to carry his seed to term so it can produce fruit in and out of season, okay? In and out of season. So I want you to keep that in mind, because I'm going to, at least I think I'm going to. Yeah. So in and out of season, I want you to keep that in mind. But in contrast to Hosea and Hosea and Gomer. Well, let me back that up. In contrast to Gomer, you have Miriam, Yosef's wife, Miriam who birthed Yahushua HaMashiach, okay? So she's the perfect imagery of us being pregnant by the word of Yahuwah, which is Yahushua HaMashiach. She was highly favored by Yah and blessed among women. Okay, so let's go to Lucas 1. And go down to verse 27. Lucas 1 and 7. Or Luke 1 and 27, I'm sorry. To a virgin espoused to a man or betrothed to a man whose name was Yosef of the house of Dawood, and the virgin's name was Miriam. And the angel came near unto her and said, Hail, you that are highly favored, Yah is with you. Blessed are you, Aleph Tav, among women. Okay. And when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying, and cast in her mind what manner of salutation this should be. And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Miriam, for you have found favor with Elohim. And behold, you shall conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahusha. So she was carrying the seed, the word of Yahuwah. He shall be great and shall be called the son of Al-Alyan, and Yahuwah Elohim shall give unto him the throne of his father Dawood, and he shall reign over the house of Yaakov forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. Okay. Another place I want to go to, or Ruach HaKodesh told me to go to. I know I'm all over the place and this seems like it's so unorganized, but I'm just doing what he told me to do. So just so you can see that Yahushua HaMashiach is the word of Yahuwah, we're going to go to Yehukanan of John 1, and we're going to go from verse 1 to verse 14. In the beginning was the word. The word was Aleph Tav Elohim. The word was with Aleph Tav Elohim, and Elohim was the word. Elohim was the word. So Miriam is carrying the word. Okay. Her virgin birth was a metaphor. Okay, well, I'll get to that in just a second. The same was in the beginning with Aleph Tav Elohim. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the life shines in the dark. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from Elohim, whose name was Yehukanan. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light which lights every man that comes into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. And I'm curious to know if that's the same word, gnosko. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Elohim, even to them that believe on his name. So I want to stop right there. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Elohim. So think of it this way. When you get married to someone, you become the son or daughter-in-law of that person's parents. Okay? So in essence, if you put it in mortal terms, carnal terms, we are the daughter-in-law, because remember, we're the bride, so we are feminine. We are the helpmeet. We are the daughter-in-law in law, in Yahuwah's law. We are the daughter-in-law of Yahuwah, Elohim, Zabao, because we are the bride of Yahushua HaMashiach, okay? That's how we become sons, which sons right here just means children of Yahuwah, okay? Or of Elohim, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Elohim. And the word was made flesh and tabernacled among us, and we beheld his glory, and the glory the glory as of the Yahid of the Father, full of grace and truth. Yahid, united, soul by implication, beloved. Okay, Yahid. And I'm gonna stop right there real quick because I want to check this out before I forget. And you guys are gonna check it out with me. Yay! What was that? Verse 10? I think it was. I just want to see something real quick. Ah, it's the same word, gnosko. Right here. Yep. And the world knew him not. So, yeah. Ain't been spending time with your husband. So, Miriam the virgin is contrasted to the unfaithful Gomer the harlot. Okay. So, we want to be more like Miriam and less like Gomer. All right. It's time to come out of the way of the harlot and nourish the seed which was placed in us, so that we aren't cut off from Yahuwah and Yahusha forever. This is where I want you to think about that fig tree again, okay? Because it's getting down. It's a crunch time for real, you guys. So this is Matith Yahu 21. We're going to start in verse 18, go to verse 19. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, Let no fruit grow on you henceforward forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. So this is what I mean by we are supposed to be producing fruit in and out of season. Okay? Because we have his word in us. We have his word in us. Why aren't we producing fruit if we have his word in us? Okay? Can a woman impregnate herself? No. A woman can't bear fruit without the seed of the man, nor can we bear fruit without the word of Yahuwah. who is Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay. Let me go to, I don't forgot why I even put Yehukanan 15 on here, but we're gonna go there just because it's on my paper. So this is John 15, starting at verse 1. Oh, okay. So I am the vine of truth, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bears not the fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine. No more can you except you abide in me. So this is where, can a woman bear fruit without the seed of a man? No. Even if, for the people that are like, well, she can go to a sperm bank. I mean, she still needs the seed of a man. Whether she uses in vitro fertilization, whatever it's called, or she gets pregnant naturally, she still needs the seed of a man in order to produce fruit. Okay? So this is in essence what Yahusha is saying right now. I am the vine, you are the netzarim. Netzarim, in the sense of greenness as of striking color, a shoot, branches, figuratively a descendant, the followers of Yahushua HaMashiach. A descendant. He that abides in me and I in him, the same brings forth much fruit. So if you abide in me, we finna be fruitful and multiply, okay? Just like it says in Bereshit, we finna be fruitful and multiply. For without me, you can do nothing. So without my seed, you can't bear any fruit, is what he's telling them. If a man abide not in me, when it says man, he's talking about humankind, okay? Mankind. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. So this is everyone that is not impregnated with his word. This is everyone that does not know him. This is everyone that is not of his bride, okay? If you abide in me and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit, so shall you be my Talmudim. Those who are instructed, accustomed, disciples, learned, taught, used. Okay? Let's go back to that. I went past that too fast. Those who are instructed, accustomed, disciples, which is students, learned, taught, used. Okay. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Continue you in my love. If you guard my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have guarded my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. So if you guard my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have guarded my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Okay, so this goes to how the structure is supposed to be. Yahuwah, then the husband, then the wife. So in this case, you have Yahuwah, then you have Yahushua HaMashiach, then you have the bride of Yahushua HaMashiach, which is Yasharal. Okay. All of us, all of us believers, his bride. So he abided in his Father's commandments, and now we're supposed to abide in his commandments, because we're supposed to submit to our husband. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if alaf tav, you do whatsoever I command you. So if you do what I tell you to, you're my friend. Okay? Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knows not what his Adonai does, but I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. So I told you everything, basically. Pillow talk. So if you are someone that's married, y'all know what pillow talk is, okay? I mean, unfortunately, some of us who have never been married or aren't currently married also know what pillow talk is. But, when you just sit there with your husband, you and your wife, you just you talk to them about things that you might not necessarily talk to other people about, but there are no secrets. Let me figure out the what I'm trying to say. So basically, like for instance, my best friend is married. I know that anything that I tell my best friend, I might as well just go and tell her husband too, because telling her is like telling both of them. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by that. So basically, he's telling you everything he hears his father saying. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave it at that. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit and that your fruit should remain. So I chose you to be my wife, to be my bride. Okay. I went forth and chose you. He that findeth a wife find favor with Yahuwah. And Proverbs 18, we'll go there. And that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. So let's say a husband and a wife get married, and then the wife, she's like, hey, she goes to her father-in-law. She's like, hey, can you change my tire? More than likely, the father-in-law is going to be like, sure, because, this is daughter-in-law. But if this random woman just walks up and is like, yo, let me borrow $20. Now, depending on the type of man he is, he might let her borrow $20. But more than likely, he's going to be like, she might even ask for the same situation, hey, can you change my tire? He might be like, especially in 2022. I mean, 9 times out of 10, he's going to say, because he don't know how to change the tire. But back in the day, depending on the type of man that you came across, he might be like, nah, I'm not for to change your tire. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that these are examples that are helping you kind of understand. Some of you, I know, have ears to hear, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is. These things I command you, that you love one another. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. Alaf Tav. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Adoni. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have guarded my word, they will guard yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. He that hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which no other man did, they had not had sin, but now have they both seen, and hated both me and my Father. But that the word might be fulfilled, that it is written in the writings, they hated me without a cause. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, the Ruach Meth, which is the Ruach of the Spirit of Truth, Ruach Emet, which proceeds from the Father, he shall testify of me. And you also shall bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. All right, that was a lot. Let's see if I can go ahead and find the scripture in Proverbs real quick. And then after that, I'm getting off because I'm going to bed. Mishli, or however you pronounce it. I think it's Proverbs 18. Is it Proverbs 18? 18, 20, is that what it is? Nope. 18:22. Whoso finds a woman finds a good thing and obtains favor of Yahuwah. And Yahusha said that I have chosen you. You have not chosen me. Okay. He found him a wife. All right. And he is favored of Yahuwah because he is his Yahid son. All right, you guys. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's all that Ruach HaKodesh gave me to say. I know I was all over the place. I thank you for the ones that are still sticking around listening to me babble. I pray that you have eyes to see and ears to hear, well, mostly ears to hear what Ruach HaKodesh has spoken through me, even with my flaws and in my humanity. I still pray that you have ears to hear, because I understand what Ruach HaKodesh is saying, but sometimes it seems like I'm not able to accurately portray what it is I'm hearing. So if you have ears to hear, I'm praying that your ears are hearing right about now. All right. You guys have a wonderful night. I look forward to talking to you guys again. Until next time, Shalom Aleichem.